Nammo Phat. Good morning. Thank you for joining me for today's daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The first wonderful precept. Aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I vow to cultivate compassion and learn ways to protect the lives of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I am determined not to kill, not to let others kill, and not to condone any act of killing in the world, in my thinking or in my way of life. This morning we're reading the section on becoming, non-becoming, and right view from Ajahn Sucitto's book, Kamma and the End of Kamma. The process of identification is latent in self-view and activated by clinging. As clinging occurs, the process is given personal traits and character by a biased view called becoming, bhava. Got it becomes I've got it, or I'm stuck in this, or I'm always going to be this way. Clinging sticks this moment to the next moment, and becoming makes a pattern, which then can get extended forwards in terms of expectation or dread, or woven into a detailed portrait of she's like this, or I'll never be like that. Becoming is ignorance in action, the bottom line weaver of patterns and programs, the daddy of all sankhara. In detail, becoming carries the blueprints of old Kamma. So when there's clinging, becoming adds the personal particulars. It does this by relating to input in ways that are habitually me and mine, old Kamma. These may be mixes of impulsiveness or worry, or more positive traits like wanting to oblige others, my way of reacting, my take on things. Becoming forms and informs the ongoing me, since as it moves from this mind state to that mind state, through events and scenarios, and through lifetimes, it looks for a stable and satisfying pattern. The tough thing to come to terms with is that this me sense can never be very stable or satisfied, because it arises dependent on holding on to any state of being, and these states change. Holding on to what is changeable and unstable must give rise to unsatisfactory results. How long is a winner satisfied with his or her success before they have to run a faster race, climb a more challenging mountain, pull off an even bigger deal? And meanwhile, circumstances change. Maybe there's the loss of a partner or a job. Maybe there's illness or disability. Maybe the belief in a person or a doctrine gets capsized, or the ability to do or make things happen is checked, and we feel disoriented. Our becoming program gets derailed, and with that, sorrow, anxiety, or rage well up. Then, in order to deflect or suppress these emotions, we get active again. We blame or throw ourselves into work or seek some affirmation, and all that activity and energy is further becoming, which just finds another set of mind states to create an identity around. Thus there is an addiction to Kamma, and a firming up of the assumption that all that there is for us are the shower of feelings and the surge of becoming this or that for a while. Becoming keeps us looking for the ultimate, ended all, lasting state of being. But there isn't one. Nevertheless, you don't get out of becoming by shutting the mind down. or by negative intentions. That's non-becoming, the shadow twin of becoming. Non-becoming seeks to break away from mind states and identifies around nihilism, dropping out, and the sense of meaninglessness. It is a favored pattern for the rebel teenage years, a pattern that, however, also generates attitudes, styles, icons, and compulsions. No, you have to grow out of becoming by steering into places where the fog of ignorance can lift. So you steer your intentions towards practices that support parami and factors of awakening, and you begin to review how your mind works in terms of skillful or unskillful, bright or dark, rather than in terms of what I am or could be. It is this view of witnessing and evaluation without clinging and self-mirroring that has to be borne in mind as mental content and patterns get revealed. The full scope of this selfless view is encapsulated in the teaching of the Four Noble Truths, of suffering, its origin, its ceasing, and the path to that ceasing. With this teaching you can assess where you're stuck, what you need to do about it, where you're getting free, and how to develop that. Although it's an intimate assessment, it isn't based on self-view. It's rather like using an X-ray or an angiogram to look into your state of being. You're not looking to the normal self-image with its inflationary or contracted gaze for definition. Instead, you see your patterns in terms of the Four Noble Truths. This is the afflictive area. This is where it's generated. This is the clearer, more resourceful aspect. This is where development can occur. The Four Noble Truths present us with a map of the old Kamma we carry, of how fresh Kamma gets generated, and of the Kamma that leads to awakening. That is, if the mind is steadied, opened, and unoccluded, an intrinsic and clear stillness can be experienced. It's something that you only get a sense of when the affective and impulsive energies of the mind have settled down. It has no intention, has no feeling, and it doesn't support becoming and self-view. It's a kind of weightlessness, which at the same time is the most grounded and steady thing you can know. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me this morning.